Every morning, millions of people wake up and immediately shut off their fat-burning system, and they call it a healthy breakfast. What if I told you that the very meal you believe boosts your metabolism may actually be training your body to store fat all day long? Not because you lack discipline, not because you don't exercise enough, but because you're triggering a hormonal switch within minutes of your first bite. You've been told that skipping breakfast slows your metabolism and causes weight gain. But what if the opposite is true? What if eating first thing in the morning, especially carbohydrates, locks you into a cycle of hunger, cravings, and energy crashes before noon? There's a biological mechanism behind this, a real one, and almost nobody explains it clearly. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what happens inside your body when you eat breakfast, why it may be sabotaging your metabolism, and how to flip that switch back into fat-burning mode. Once you understand this, you'll never see breakfast the same way again. Let me say something that might surprise you. Breakfast is not the problem. The real problem is what breakfast does to your hormones. For decades, we've been told that metabolism is like a fire. If you don't fuel it in the morning, it slows down. That idea sounds logical, but biologically, it's misleading. Your metabolism is not a campfire that needs constant feeding. It's a hormone-regulated system, and the hormone that matters most here is insulin. Every time you eat, especially carbohydrates like cereal, toast, fruit juice, oatmeal, even healthy smoothies, your blood sugar rises. In response, your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin's job is simple: move sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells. But insulin has another job, a much more important one for fat loss. Insulin is a storage hormone. When insulin is elevated, your body cannot effectively burn fat. It's biologically programmed that way. High insulin tells your body, energy is coming in, store it, don't burn reserves. So what happens when you wake up in the morning? Naturally, after fasting overnight, your insulin levels are low. Your body is primed to burn stored fat. You are already in a mild fat-burning state. Then you eat breakfast. Within minutes, insulin rises. Fat burning shuts down. Your body switches from burning stored energy to burning incoming glucose. A few hours later, blood sugar drops. You feel hungry again, maybe shaky, maybe tired, so you snack. Insulin rises again. The cycle repeats. This is not a lack of willpower. This is biochemistry. The biggest myth we've been sold is that eating frequently stokes the metabolic fire. In reality, frequent eating keeps insulin elevated for most of the day, and chronically elevated insulin is one of the key drivers of fat storage, especially around the abdomen. Modern nutrition advice often focuses on calories. Eat less, move more. But that approach treats the symptom, not the cause. You can restrict calories all day long, but if your insulin remains high, your body resists accessing stored fat. It's like having money in a savings account, but being locked out of it. The root cause of stubborn weight gain for many people isn't breakfast itself. It's the constant stimulation of insulin that begins the moment you eat in the morning and continues with snacks throughout the day. When you understand this hormonal switch, everything changes. The question is no longer, how many calories did I eat? The real question becomes, how often am I telling my body to store instead of burn? Now let's go deeper, but I promise to keep this simple. Think of your body as a hybrid car. It has two fuel systems. One runs on glucose, sugar, and the other runs on fat. Both systems work beautifully. The problem is not that your body can't burn fat. The problem is that it only burns one fuel source at a time, and insulin decides which one. When insulin is high, your body runs on glucose. When insulin is low, your body switches to fat. It's that simple. Overnight, while you're sleeping and not eating, insulin drops. Your body begins pulling energy from stored fat. This is a natural process. Humans evolved this way. We were never designed to eat from the moment we wake up until the moment we go to bed. Now imagine what happens when you eat a typical breakfast. Cereal, toast, fruit, oatmeal, even a banana smoothie. Blood sugar rises, insulin rises, the glucose engine turns on, the fat engine shuts off. Your body says, why burn stored fat when new fuel just arrived? Here's where it gets interesting. When insulin rises, it doesn't just block fat burning. It also tells your fat cells to hold on to stored energy. This happens through an enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase, the enzyme responsible for breaking down fat. Insulin suppresses it. In simple terms, insulin locks the fat door. Now let's talk about the crash. After eating carbohydrates, blood sugar spikes. Insulin comes in to lower it. Sometimes it lowers it quickly. A few hours later, your blood sugar drops, sometimes below baseline. That drop triggers hunger signals from your brain. You feel it as cravings, irritability, fatigue, brain fog. So you eat again. Another spike, another insulin release, another shutdown of fat burning. Over time, this repeated cycle can lead to something called insulin resistance. That means your cells stop responding efficiently to insulin. So your body produces even more of it to compensate. More insulin means more fat storage, especially visceral fat, the dangerous fat around your organs. And there's another layer most people don't realize. When insulin is low for extended periods, your body activates processes like autophagy, a cellular cleanup mechanism. Think of it as your body's internal recycling and repair system. It removes damaged proteins, clears dysfunctional cells, and improves metabolic health. But autophagy is suppressed when insulin is elevated. So when you constantly eat from morning to night, you're not just limiting fat burning, you may also be limiting your body's natural repair systems. This is why many people who delay their first meal notice something surprising. More stable energy, fewer cravings, clearer thinking, easier fat loss. It's not magic, it's hormonal physiology. Your body is not broken, it's simply responding to signals. And when you understand how insulin controls the fuel switch, you gain the power to control that switch. Now the real question becomes, what should you actually do with this information? Now let's turn this into something practical. Understanding insulin is powerful, but what really matters is what you do tomorrow morning. Here's how you begin flipping the metabolic switch back in your favor. Number 1, delay your first meal. You don't have to jump into extreme fasting. Simply extend your natural overnight fast. If you normally eat at 7 a.m., try 9 a.m. Then gradually push it later if it feels right. This allows insulin to stay low longer and keeps your body in fat-burning mode. Many people find that once they stop triggering early insulin spikes, morning hunger actually decreases. Drink water, black coffee, unsweetened tea, no sugar, no creamers that contain hidden carbs. Number 2, stop snacking. Every snack is an insulin event. Even small amounts of carbohydrates raise insulin. If your goal is metabolic flexibility, you need periods where insulin drops. Stick to defined meals. Give your body space between them. Think in terms of insulin breaks, not just calorie control. Number 3, change the composition of your first meal. If you choose to eat breakfast, make it protein dominant and low in refined carbohydrates. Instead of cereal or toast, choose eggs, Greek yogurt, unsweetened, avocado, nuts, vegetables, high-quality protein sources. Protein has a much smaller impact on insulin compared to refined carbs and keeps you full longer. The goal is to avoid sharp glucose spikes. Number 4, reduce refined carbohydrates overall. The issue isn't just breakfast. It's the constant carb exposure all day. Minimize sugary drinks, pastries, white bread, sweetened cereals, fruit juices. Focus instead on whole foods with fiber, healthy fats, and adequate protein. Number 5, build metabolic flexibility. Your body should be able to switch between glucose and fat efficiently. You improve this by allowing fasting windows, strength training, prioritizing sleep, avoiding late-night eating. Late-night eating keeps insulin elevated during a time your body should be repairing and burning stored energy. Number 6, be patient and consistent. If you've been eating frequently for years, your body may need time to adapt. The first week might feel different. Mild hunger waves are normal. They pass. Hunger is hormonal and comes in cycles. You are not starving. You are retraining your metabolism. Remember, this isn't about skipping meals to suffer. It's about creating hormonal conditions that allow your body to access stored energy naturally. When insulin is managed, fat loss becomes a side effect, not a battle. Now, if this hormonal switch controls whether you burn fat or store it, there's another question you need to ask. What happens when insulin stays elevated for years? Because that's where issues like insulin resistance, stubborn belly fat, and even type 2 diabetes begin to develop. In my next video, I break down the early warning signs of insulin resistance, symptoms most people ignore until it's too late, and how to reverse it naturally. If you care about your metabolism, you need to watch that next.